Hello, and happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books from Book of the Month Club and beyond. So today I'm going to do the Valentine's tag, and this was created by Epic Reads. I'll put a link to the channel below. I found out about it on MJ's channel, which is called Reading This Life. I'll also put a link to that below. So, here are the prompts. Let's get started. The first question is my first book crush. So I would have to say that my first book crush was Pippi Longstocking. I think those books came out in the 60s. I was a child of the 60s, and I'm still a child of the 60s. And I really loved Pippi Longstocking. She was unsupervised, she was wild, she was a tomboy, she did what she wanted to do. And that was not really typical of the time. She was kind of a pioneer in that way. And so I loved her for those things. So I would say for sure, Pippi Longstocking. And I loved her hair. She had the ginger hair with braids that went up and around. Fantastic. So, second prompt, what book would you want as your Valentine? Well, I would say that one of the most important qualities to me is humor. Humor lasts, and humor gets you through hard times. If you want your relationship to last, then you gotta have humor. You gotta laugh at yourself. You gotta laugh at the things that happen. You gotta laugh off life sometimes, because if not, it can get pretty hard and pretty terrible. So humor is a quality that is really good to have in a relationship, and it lasts. So I would want funny books, and I think some of the most hilarious books that I've ever read, and I've actually never mentioned these before on my channel, although I've read quite a number of them. There is a series by an author named Tim Dorsey, Dorsey, I believe. He is from Tampa, Florida. He worked for, or maybe he even still works for, the Tampa Bay Times, and he writes books about Florida. He has a particular character who is named Surge Storms, which, if you know anything about Florida and hurricanes, is already kind of a funny name. And Surge is a real Florida aficionado. He knows everything about Florida. He travels around Florida. He has wacky friends that he hangs out with. Wacky stuff, Florida stuff, happens to him, and it's always funny and entertaining. So I would say the series by Tim Dorsey. I remember one of my favorite ones being a book called Triggerfish Twist. That one was hilarious. Number 3, candy hearts or chocolate? Well, overall I'd have to say chocolate. Brand probably doesn't matter to me a whole lot, but I do love the ones with caramel inside. Chocolate caramel, can't beat it. Doesn't even have to be sea salt caramel. Any kind of caramel. Caramel with nuts, caramel, no nuts, nougat, no nougat, it's okay, as long as it's got those two magic ingredients of chocolate and caramel. I like a dark chocolate. The little Dove squares are, I think they make them in a heart maybe for Valentine's, so something like that is fine with me. Although I do like a hard candy sometimes to eat while I'm reading, something that'll kind of last for a while and just give you nice little sugar and flavor. Number 4, what book would you gift to your true love? I think that when it comes to books, they're somewhat personal in a sense. Even though we share them, trade them, buy them, sell them, they're a commodity and, everything else. They're also, what you like though, and what strikes a chord in you is personal. It's great to share that with another person, and they may end up appreciating it as much as you do or more. But it's hard to kind of always pick that out and make the appropriate suggestions. And sometimes you just have to say, oh, I like this series, and put it out there. They may try one of the books and they may not like it. So I would say the book that I would gift to anyone, true love or anyone else, is the book that they want. So I would probably kind of let their taste guide me more than I would let my taste guide me. So probably a book on pottery. Number 5 is favorite rom-com. I don't really watch them. And I did see this question a little bit earlier, and I thought, uh-oh, what am I going to say? I had to think about this one just a little bit, but I did come up with a movie that is, to me, a very romantic, although not necessarily a comedy movie. And it was a book as well. And that's the movie Chocolat, which is the French word for chocolate. It takes place in a French village. It has Johnny Depp, who is fantastic. The female character is played by, I think her name is Juliette Binoche. And she is just a beautiful woman. And the two of them together, it just is fantastic to see. And I love the movie. I love the concept of the movie. In fact, as I started thinking about it more and more, I think we're going to read the book, because I never have. But I have watched the movie a couple of times. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love the story. Best Valentine's Day gift you ever received? Well, that one I didn't have to think about, but I did dig out this Valentine card. I don't know exactly how old it is, but I've had it for quite a few years, I can tell you. First of all, here's the outside. It's very cute. Kind of looks like the Pink Panther. But listen to this. Your looks are ooh la la, and your savoirs more than fair. Just everything about you is très très extraordinaire. Oui, oui, you're magnifique, and you get nicer every jour. That's why you'll always be my one and only true amour. That's from my true amour. And again, I've had it for so many years that I really don't even know how long. The inside is getting a little bit yellowed, but I'll never get rid of it. I love this card. Best one I've ever received, hands down. And number 7 and final question, prompt. Favorite thing about Valentine's Day, if you love it, or favorite thing to do on Valentine's Day if you hate it? Well, I happen to love it. I think Valentine's Day is a great day. And the reason I think it's great is because it celebrates love. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. Doesn't necessarily have to be commercialized. I know sometimes people have a problem with it because of that. And I think all holidays are like that a little bit. So it's, commercialism is just something, in my mind at least, that we have to kind of protect ourselves against a little bit. So I can understand that, but I could never dislike a day that celebrates love. So that's the reason. And yes, I love Valentine's. I think you can see my friend back here. My dog is sleeping because I've already taken her on about a 2-mile walk maybe. And then she ran and played at the park. And she got some little Valentine's treats also from one of her doggy friends. So anyway, that's my Valentine's Day tag. So thank you for watching. And I just want to let you know that on Friday at 3 p.m., I will be on the Cobalt Dragon channel. We're going to do a live segment together, and we're going to talk about this banned book project that we are involved in, and several people are involved in. That's hashtag 24BB. I've already talked about on my channel several books that I've read that were banned books. Cobalt Dragon, her name is Elaine, will also talk about some of the books that she is planning on reading, and we'll bring up some information about banned books in general. So if you are available this Friday, February 16th at 3 p.m. to tune in live, we'd love to have you. So thank you for watching. Again, happy Valentine's Day. Celebrate love today. Take care.